Hello guys, Pressman here, and in today's video, I'm going to be VOD reviewing a game of mine from on stream where I play the Heartsteel line. I do think a lot of people play the Heartsteel line wrong or inefficiently, so I will be going over my early game decisions and lots of things that you should be thinking about when you're playing the Heartsteel line, such as how to play around being super contested and missing your main carry. Okay, so for this team builder, I'm going to go over some basically stuff that you can be looking for on your roll down when you know that you're most likely more than likely it's like to miss. For example, say like there are a bunch of people in your lobby that already have Zed and Ezreal, which is like obviously like the more standard way to play the Heartsteel line. Like what units you can like look for as like potential like backups and like how like the itemization would work. I put Poppy here as like an example or as like one thing. Like Poppy really often goes on like the standard board, but at the same time like you can look at her as like a potential like item holder depending on like what you get from your roll down. So for here, items that you more than likely would have on these units, like maybe not Sterak's or something like GS, but it's like Sterak's is definitely like a potential item that you could have on Zed. And here, like where you can like distribute like these units amongst like these people, right? I guess it's like not really KL. It's more so like these. These guys are like potential like item holders until say like you need to like just buy these guys for like the stage or something like that because you don't really want to take 15 damage per turn, and you can play around these units until someone who is running like like your core units dies, and you can just take their units like once they're dead. Get right into it. I do think Akali is probably like the best item holder for like say Ezreal, like in case you miss. And the reason for that is because like she can literally use all three of our items really well. She can not only use blue buff and red buff well, she can use like obviously like IE well, but she can also use like a mix of Zed items well, like say like Sterak's BT. She can even use GA. Like she can literally use all the Zed items as well as like like the like lots of Ezreal core items too, which is like blue buff, red buff. The true damage in specific. I don't really like the KDA version as an item holder. And it's really easy to fit true damage in as well. Say if like you're like a Felios from like running Heartsteel early, you can just play a Senna, 2 true damage, it activates her bling bonus, which gives her a lot more healing. And yeah, it's just really easy to do that. Akali is definitely a unit to watch out for. Like sometimes it's more than fine to just buy Chosen Akali like really early on and then just stop rolling for like 1 or 2 turns, unless like you need to hit Ezreal that turn. Yeah, Akali is definitely really good. Poppy is good. Poppy is really good with Sterak's, really good with BT. Like sometimes like you can just give her the damage items if it's like you don't really have any items, like you don't really want to give her chosen Poppy nothing. And like unless you plan on like only if you plan on selling her, but you plan on keeping the Poppy, like I would only suggest like really giving like BT slash Sterak's and then like whatever frontline, like Even Shroud's good on her, like Crown Guard that's like on your Zac or something like that, like that's good on her. Poppy can take like Zed items slash like Zac items, but would not really recommend Ezreal items on it. Caitlyn here can obviously take IE, red buff, can take blue buff, doesn't really want blue buff, but like sometimes like you just have to give her blue buff. And then Viego. Viego is another unit that can basically like, take BT Sterak's, IE slash like red buff, like, even GA. So it can literally take all the Zed items, can take like some of Ezreal's items, and just like in case like like you like don't find Zed. And how to tie these units onto your board together. Example, so here, I'll take out Zed. I'll show you guys a Viego really quickly. It's like this gives you Edgelord and 2 pentakill. So it's really easy to just find like another pentakill. You just find like a Mordekaiser on roll down, 3 penta, 3 Edgelord, and it enables your Viego, which will probably have your Zed items. You just run this for like stage 4 or something like that until like some other people running Zed dies, and then you can sell Viego and just like look for Zed. It's like an example like how to tie this unit in and enable his traits. Akali, you just go like this with Ezreal or Aphelios. You just get rapid fire as well. If you haven't had like K'Sante, you can just go like Senna. You just really want to activate the true damage if you can, just because it helps a lot with the healing, especially if you don't have healing on her and you have like full on Ezreal items, blue buff, i.e. red buff. Say you have like you didn't find Ezreal, you have Zed. Like, you can just do something like this. You don't have a backline unit, which is kind of a little sus. You only have like frontline. You only have melee carries. It's like like what can you do? Sometimes you just sit on this for a couple rounds and you try to look for Ezreal later. Or if you need to play around this until you wait for other people to die. Yeah, you just try to activate true damage. And I'll say that you miss Ezreal and Zed. Like obviously you can play like Caitlyn, like instead of Ezreal. It's like they have similar items. I'd say you miss Ezreal and Zed. Like you can make a board that looks like this. Like you could just take out that. Like obviously you look for Zac on roll down. Zac set, you can do this Echo and Garen if you want 8-bit in. It's like another easy way to activate both their traits, which is 8-bit, true damage, and yeah, like rapid fire here. And you can even just run like something else for Heartsteel. You run this for Sentinel, and back to like actual flux, something like this. Maybe Zach gone. But yeah, like this is like usually you don't really try to look for boards like these. It's more so just like a fallback, and you're just like damage control. You're just trying to salvage as many placements as you can, or like you wait for someone to die who has all your units. But yeah, like that's like basically just like my variations, just like things that you can look for. To jump right into things, this is a game that I played on stream yesterday. For those of you who don't know, Parking Lotter 96 is Setsuko. Both of us were sitting on our mains because it was the last day of the snapshot. So we were both on alts. So yeah, like to start off here, like obviously like my first orb drop is extremely high roll. Like these are probably like this is probably like the best orb drop that you could get, especially like right here I find the Cashout, and I got already 3 Heartsteel. So this is like this is an extremely high roll, like super high roll start. Even getting a high roll start, like you still have to execute it properly in order to secure the win. Yeah, okay, honestly, like this is an extremely high roll start, like really high roll. I don't really care about holding the extra Cashout. More likely than not, I'm not gonna be able to hold on to it for a while. I just hold on like this punk pair. I like one was basically untakeable. Not today is not really takeable. Ascension's not really takeable. Gives it the Fallen is like the worst time that you can get it is 2-1, but it's like it's the only thing I have. And I am playing Heartsteel, so I do have the ability to basically just like sack my early game. Or not really like so much sack, but it's like I don't need to play for my early game because I can scale infinitely. And like it's the only people that can't keep up with my scaling are other Heartsteel players really, or high rollers. So I end up taking Gifts of the Fallen because it's, yeah, I don't really start playing the game until later anyways. So it's like not that big of a deal. Taking it here. And then here I'm considering leveling for Vi and Jinx just so I can get Punk in. So it's like if I level to 4, depending on like when I go 5 as well, I don't even mind like using a Punk roll because I'm 1 Aphelios off of 5 Heartsteel. Like sometimes it's actually like really efficient to use your punk rolls, even if you're not playing punk and you're just playing Heartsteel throughout the stage. If you actually have like something that you can roll for, like in my case, it would be Aphelios. Here I win this, so I pre-level, hoping like praying for Aphelios. Don't hit. But yeah, because I win that, I try to win. Like my board is not weak by any means. My board is worth $12. Well, like a $12 board is like extremely high in terms of like money value, like at this point in the game. Like lots of times that you don't really see boards 4 units worth $12. I win this just like through like pure unit quality. I'm just like I'm trying to preserve as much HP as I can early on because stage 2 for Heartsteel is like not like the biggest deal ever. Like you can't really push like any like like further tiers because of the way Heartsteel works. Like you only get like a certain amount of hearts like per stage, like early on. Yeah, here I am on a 2 streak, but it's like I'm not like to like play a board that pushes for 3 streak in my situation and not make 10, because I do think like my streak is a little fraudulent because the units that I'm playing are like not that good, and my item like Crown Guard is like good item, but it's like not that good. Like it's good frontline, but the thing is I don't really have a backline for my frontline, so I do think like the 2 streak is like a little undeserved. Like a 3 streak is kind of undeserved, so it's like I'd much rather secure money and just like make 10. Like I don't even mind losing because it's like getting 10 hearts here. Like sometimes like you can push up to 40. I don't even know if you can hit 60. You're pretty sure you can't even hit 60 on stage 2. Yeah. Again, I'm just playing strongest board. Here, like you can't even break to 40. So it's like losing and winning is like actually like no diff in terms of hearts. Okay, so here I do have the option of raise the stakes. And right now I can raise the stakes, but like before you raise the stakes, you always need to check like there are 2 things that you need to check. Like the first thing is like who's in your pool. So like as you can see here, I have the option of raise the stakes. Like I'm like sometimes you can just cash out, sometimes you can raise the stakes. First off, I need to like look at the 3 people I can fight, which is Relic, Mario Kart, and Parking Lotter. I scout all of them. Relic is for sure trying to 5 streak. Mario Kart is playing like a relatively strong board. And then Parking Lotter, like his board's like a little weak, but he is level 5. And then on top of that, like the next thing you need to watch out for, I mean, first you should focus on like the 3 people that are in your pool to like decide like whether you even raise the stakes. But the other thing is you need to check out like the other people's boards, like the people that you've already fought. So like a Common Quail, DXN, Silencer, and Bear. You need to check like their board strength, and you need to evaluate like whether they'll be playing from like continuing like looking for like any sort of streak from their spots. So, like if someone, let's say like Bear is already fought him, but he's pushing for a 5 loss. And his board is like set up to where it's like he's not really looking to get stronger on 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. That is something that I need to take into account for, that like he might be in my pool again before I finish cashing out or raising the stakes. So yeah, here I'm deciding, and I like decide that I can raise the stakes because it doesn't look like anyone's board is like that weak. It doesn't look like anyone's like an obvious like full on open. And like also like raising the stakes is like it's not that bad. Like you do lose like a turn of tempo, a turn of Heartsteel cash out, like if you do happen to win, but it's like you go from 20 to 0 stacks, which is just too old. I'm pretty sure it's just too old, like off the top of my head, if I do cash out instantly. And then here I noticed last second that parking lotter sells his board, and I like start to panic a little because I didn't expect him to sell his board. He's 84 HP, so it's like usually when people are 84 HP, you don't really expect him to be 5 or 4 loss or something like that. But it's like he did that, so it's like it's safe to assume that he's on 4 loss if he's doing this, especially with red buff. And this is like one way to tell. You can see like someone's like sort of game plan, or you can like judge someone's game plan. So, like in his spot, he's pushing for 5 loss here, even though he is level 5. He has red buff, blue buff belt, which means he's most likely leaning into the AD line, especially if he's holding the Heartsteel units, and he does have a scaling augment. So more likely than not, he's not going to be really playing a board, and he's going to look to continue lose streaking on 3-1, 3-2, and 3-3, which is extremely bad for me, even though I don't find him this turn. He's in my pool for the next 3 rounds that I raise, like stuff you need to watch out for when you do play the Heartsteel line. Especially like the raise the stakes, which is a lot riskier play. Like there's a lot more reward, but there is a lot more risk as well. So here, like, you know, I see his board, he's Heartsteel, he's only playing 3 units. Like if I fight him here, it's like there's literally nothing I can do. I can't out open this, like, you know, because I'm not willing to sell Yone. I still have set versus his Aphelios. I do have Cashout chosen. So it's like no matter what I do, I'm gonna end up beating his board. Like there's actually like no point. I just need to pray that I don't fight him. And it's like if I do cash out here, it's like whatever. I lost like 1 turn. I'm still at like 30 something. I still cash out the 20 stack. I just play like not like strong board, but it's like I just play like semi strongest. Honestly, it probably is my strongest. Like maybe I just kill a couple units, which I end up killing none. Okay, so here, number 1, partial ascension is not really clickable. Pandora's items is like acceptable, like, you know, it depends on your items if you need like a fixer item economy. And Tiny Titans, which is a lot of potential with Heartsteel. Recon Bob is kind of cool and all. The Vampirism is really good. It's a lot of instant power. But in my mind here, so like I have 2 routes I can take, which is Vampirism, and I just played my strongest. Like if I happen to fight Parking Lotter or Setsuko, like whatever my case raise the stakes is done, I just continue with my game from there. Or I do have the option of Tiny Titans, and I just look for continuing to raise the stakes. And eventually, like how it goes, usually with Tiny Titans, in a spot like this, you really want to raise the stakes, like potentially even double raise if you are in a spot to double raise. But yeah, Vampirism's like more just play for now, like, you know, like you play for a lot lower cap because you aren't like going for like a big cash out. But it's Vampirism is probably one of the best augments in the game. So yeah, I have 2 options. Like they're both really good options. And here I end up taking Tiny Titans. So over here, because I have Tiny Titans, I really want to continue my raise the stakes. Because it's like, since I have Setsuko in my pool and he's opening, I have the option of, number 1, just praying I don't fight him, or number 2, like taking out my Heartsteel until I literally fight him. Like taking out Heartsteel until like you fight him is really risky, because like it's possible that you could just never fight him. But at the same time, like there's a high risk, high reward, which is essentially like the raise the stakes line, like in a nutshell. Yeah, here there's not much I can do. Like he's continuing to only play 3 units on board. I look at the other people. I don't really think I can beat them, like, no matter what I do. So like here, I'm willing to take the gamble, only because I have Tiny Titans. And if I do end up, I'm willing to take the gamble of taking out my Heartsteel here, only because I have Tiny Titans. But the thing about doing this is, if I do this, I have the possibility to where I can actually just double raise. I can raise the stakes into raise the stakes because I did get Tiny Titans, and I did save a lot of HP throughout, like leading up to my spot. So last second I take out Kisante and I just put in Aphelios. I mean, not Aphelios, this guy, Yone. And I do end up fighting him, which is it works out really well in my favor. I do herald it this part like really hard. I happening to fight him here. But yeah, you know, you have to herald somewhere. I just put Heartsteel back in, and I just continue with my raise the stakes. And with my HP economy, I finished my raise the stakes in 2 turns. I'll probably like lose like maybe like 24 HP max. And with that, I'll be at 80 HP, which I can easily go for another raise the stakes. That carries on to stage 4 and gets me like a bigger cash out. And on top of that, I am 4 out of 5 Heartsteel. So like more likely than not, I'll be 5 Heartsteel. Ideally, at least like 2 out of 4 of my next raise. Like, hopefully 4 out of 4, but it's like, you know, like what can you do sometimes? Like there is carousel, and like I'm like considering whether it's worth or not, like to even roll for Aphelios on level 6. Like maybe even go level 7 and roll for like the 10% Ezreal. But yeah, I just go for glove here. I don't want to finish off my BF sword. I don't really think I like any of the other components right now. But yeah, here I'm level 6. I roll for Aphelios here because this Aphelios is essentially 5 turns of raise the stakes, 5 Heartsteel, because I still have 1 more turn of this into the next 4 that I'm going to do. I roll once and I happen to find Aphelios and Ezreal, super high roll. it's high roll. The risk I'm taking is getting paid off. So it's like, it's not high roll because I went looking for the high roll. Against this guy, I can slam some items. I can get away with slamming some items. I probably could have slammed earlier. I probably could have killed one unit. My cash out with, if I raise here, is 4-5. So I'm just gonna 4-5 it this game instead of 4-2ing it, since I sometimes in a spot like this, you can 4-2 it still and you roll for the 5 Heartsteel. But I already have 5 Heartsteel, so there's no point in rolling. The only thing I'm watching out for here is I need to scout and see who is contesting me. And I see like this person's contesting me. He has red buff slam, BF sword with Heartsteel, level 750. There's like a not like 99% chance that he's contesting me. I just need to like evaluate, like, since I am rolling on 4-5 instead of 4-2, where most people do roll, I do need to evaluate like how contested my units are going to be and what are my other outs in case I miss, because I am going to be rolling after everyone else. So there's like, if I'm like super contested, like there's a high chance that like, you know, like my units are all gonna be gone and it's gonna be hard to hit. So it's like with that, like you need to like evaluate like what you are okay with clicking on during your roll down that isn't like, you know, like your main carries, which is like obviously Ezreal. Level to 7 here. So I just scout and see who is potentially weaker than me, like whether I need to like take something out or do something to get weaker. But like honestly, like my board is some garbage. I'm a little hesitant on selling the red buff here because this guy's not slamming any items. But I watch how the fight goes first. I slammed red buff last second. Okay, the attack speed like nets me a kill on the Seraphine, saves me some HP. It's just salvaging just with Heartsteel is like there's like a lot of potential there because Heartsteel sometimes just gives you random items. And it's like sometimes like items that you don't need. Salvage bin helps out with that. The only thing is salvage bin 4-2 is typically like really, really bad unless like your items are terrible and you can like really need to remake them. Capricus is like, it's like really not that good. And then I do think healing orbs is really good in Heartsteel just because of like the units slash like comp slash like units that you run. You do get lots of power like through Heartsteel cash out, and then healing orbs is just healing for you know, like your units. It's like Harm Assist. Harm Assist is usually really good when you have lots of units with items. Heartsteel does that, and so I usually just roll 2, and I'm considering between here I'm actually considering all 3. Number 1, healing orbs is just good power. Big grab bag is like just components for like say like a second carry, but like here salvage bin is also another option. I do think salvage bin is just different than like big grab bag, like, but they're like relatively similar. And here I do know that I'm triple contested or like double 3-way contested, including myself, by 2 other people. What I am thinking in my head here, I'm more so leaning towards salvage bin because I'm rolling 2 turns behind everyone else, behind my contesters. And what that like lets me do is like in case I don't hit Ezreal, I can literally just remake my items and just play around whatever carry I get. And like as you know, like Ezreal items are not really like the most flexible items. Like not many units use blue buff, red buff as well. Like that's what I'm thinking about right now, and I end up doing. Usually combat caster is extremely good in this comp as well. Yeah, I scout here. I see a chosen Ezreal already, and then Setsuko is like rolling for the board, and obviously he's gonna look for Ezreal like as soon as he can. But here I just write out like the rest of my raise the stakes. Unfortunately, I don't think you can get 157 stacks in 1 turn unless it's like I say like I don't even know like if like a 1 unit loss does that. But yeah, like as you see like on the screen, like the bottom screen, parking lotter, let's go just hit Ezreal 2. So that's 6 Ezreals gone already out of a pool of 10, and I have 1, so 7. So it's gonna be super hard to hit Ezreal. So I just need to prep myself for my items, like as such, like items slash like what I can like potentially play around. Units that like you do use blue buff well as like a blue buff holder on stage 4, typically when you are playing like around like the 80 Heartsteel line. I would, in my opinion, would be True Damage Akali. True Damage Akali is really good with Ezreal items. And she does have built-in healing if you do have true damage, so it's like not like the worst thing in the world running her. Yeah, here I just take Lucian for Lucian, although I do already have a red buff. Lucian is Lucian. So yeah, there's 6 Ezreal gone. I just level here. I just Selke Sante and roll. Okay, so here I'm just trying to build like a board as strong as I can around basically like whatever I hit. Like I have a bunch of BF swords and I have Radiant Deathblade. So it's like just like any sort of like AD board that I can build. Like I'm open like Ezreal, Caitlyn, Akali, Zed. I do find Zed relatively early, which is really nice. And I just start grabbing like everything that I can play together for a board. And I just make everything. So like here, like my roll down is done. I guess I do have like a decent amount of gold. I can roll like quite a few more times. But like, you know, if I sell like the trash on my bench, but it's like you need to give yourself time or enough time to like actually like make your turn, like the rest of your turn, like position like items. And like usually like with salvage when you need to give yourself even more time for stuff like that. I'm pretty sure I don't even give myself enough time here. So in my mind here, I'm just playing on like number 1 like the Jazz units that I have plus Ziggs. Ziggs is like really good like Jazz double trait bot, and then like whatever upgrade I have slash like potential frontline. I'm just trying to build a board as best I can around Zed right now, which is like my chosen. Like I guess like the only frontline I really can work around is Thresh 2 and then like Jazz backline. My items are kind of all over the place. Yeah, it's like in my head I'm trying to figure out like what to do here. I red buff Ziggs, which is a mistake. Like it's not supposed to be red buff Ziggs. It's supposed to be red buff Lucian, but like, not a big deal. Like I do end up winning this round. I think I win this round. Oh yeah, I do end up winning this round just because I do have the Radiant Deathblade on Zed and like just unit quality. Plus this guy's one off of Misfortune. It's pretty lucky that I found him here. Yeah, like one thing I should have done like this turn, like right off the bat, is I should realize that like I got a double fawn cash out. My bench is gonna be super cluttered. I just need double fawn like some garbage instantly. Like, I need the bench space, or like like this will happen where it's like I sold my Ezreal and my components weren't there, and like they're back on my board because I did travel. So I literally just have like a billion components on my board on bench, and here they are. I roll first just to see like what I can change, because like depending on what I hit, it could like alter like like my itemization. But yeah, okay, so I stop here. I'm satisfied with this board for now. It's like pretty good. Usually like this is like the setup like you'd have Ezreal, but I don't have Ezreal, so like instead I am just looking around like to work around the carries I do have, and like the second best carry I have to duo carry with Zed would be Lucian for my spot. From here I reforged the red buff from Ziggs because I already have double bow on my bench, which I'm not really too interested in using on my Zed, so I don't really care like what the red buff reforges into because I have salvage bin, and I can just make red buff on Lucian anyways. Trouble figuring out like what I need, but like first thing I need is healing on my Zed, and second is ideally GA or Edge of Night. I don't really have the Edge of Night here. I was considering Sterax, but I really want to greed for Edge of Night. Because I have Radiant Deathblade on my Zed, I want to make sure he has like the best like set of items that he can get. Yes, I do have like a chain. It's on my set, but yeah, I don't really see that like fast enough because I'm trying to think of a couple other things, and I don't really do that. But like if I could replay that turn, I would sell the set on board and make GA instantly, just to make sure I'm 3 items set this turn. But yeah, I don't get punished for it because the thing is like it's always going to be Edge of Night, or yeah, Edge of Night. Okay, so yeah, I just do sell it. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to sell it because like what if I get dropped a chain here? I just lost that pair for free. Okay, I guess it makes me 20, and it's always gonna be Edge of Night. So even if I do get a chain from Anvil, not the biggest deal. Okay, so tier rod cloak, tier belt, cloak rod, BF glove, and then Anvil. I sort of like in my mind here, like I guess I have like there's like a priority list for like my itemization here. Like what I'm looking for right now is number 1 is Even Shroud, because I don't have any shred. Number 2 is itemizing a second carry, and then number 3 is itemizing frontline. So Even Shroud takes priority, then figuring out what items I want, or like how to put my items together for my carries takes second priority, and then like leftover whatever frontline items. I'm going with bow. Like it has to be Rage Blade. I have to kill the rod somehow. It's probably gonna be Death Cap somewhere. Like Death Cap is kind of just trash. That's leftover. Here I can go Shojin, or I can go Hodge, or I can go IE. I remember what I go. It's definitely not Shojin, because I'd rather get 3 item carry on Lucian, 3 items on Lucian. So it's either Hodge on what's called Lucian for healing, or IE, Infinity Edge. I end up going with IE. And yeah, this board is stable. Like no Ezreal unfortunately because there's lock on, but like this board is stable enough for me to go to 9. I am basically just like Jazz spamming. Yeah, my board is stable enough for what's like this point. I don't really want to be stuck on 8 rolling for Ezreal because this game was pretty high roll. I just need to make sure I properly execute my game out and like execute the game properly and secure my win. I'm on 4 streak here, 3 more rounds. I have to sack 3. I have 3 lives, I need to sack 3, so that means I need to win at least one of these next rounds. I want one of these next 3. Like my board, I can't die in 2 turns this stage, but it's like my board is, it's like there's no way I take 17 each turn with a board like this. All right, here like I'm trying to like look at number 1 like the emblems. I have a tier to play around. Number 2, the emblems. Like if there's a good item that I can make with the emblems and be left with a spat and potentially go for a fawn off the next carousel. Or number 3, like units. And another thing to look for is just like an instant trait. So I guess like the Sentinel, like for example on Lucian, like that's like you can consider that. But the thing is like you don't, like, the Heartsteel board doesn't really run Sentinel that often. The main appeal of it would just be like Lucian. So it's like potentially getting another trait for Jazz. I end up against it because I don't really, yeah. Even though I do have 3 item Lucian, I don't know if that's correct though. I am taking item here. Shojin Ziggs. Here, I just focus on like my matchups, watch like pay attention to like what I need to watch out for like example, say like any Zephyrs or Shrouds or something like that, like Akali's, like stuff that like that I need to pay attention for. I know fighting Ghost, which is super high roll, although I'm pretty sure I beat it anyways. But it's just like securing like a free round in like the next 2 rounds, which are like my weakest rounds because I'm going to straight to 9. Like so, I've Ezreal chosen here, but the thing is like my items are not good enough to pivot into Ezreal with the way I split my items after like itemizing for my current board. Also, here, Setsuko has 6 Ezreals with 50 gold. He has a Lucian 218, and he also has an Alawi 218. Yeah, he's going 9, or he's 50 gold here. There's the potential threat of him going for Ezreal 3, because there's no other Ezreal player in the lobby anymore. I'm pretty sure he's like the only... Actually, he has to be the only one, because it's like there's only 10 in the pool, and I have 3 in my shop. He has 6 on board. I think I'm supposed to do this, but I end up not doing it. I noticed that it's a mistake after like this round, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to lock this Ezreal for potentially the next 2 rounds. Like it depends on like when he rolls, but I can hold. I don't mind like missing out on 2 shops if it locks him out of Ezreal 3, which is a potential win con. Because I need to make sure that I want to make sure I win this game. Like he'll never hit if I like lock this shop if I have this in my shop. So it's like I should be locking here. Here I realized like I should lock here, and it's like holy crap! Like wait, he could actually go for Ezreal 3. And then I could just be screwed. But yeah, I'm more so just paying attention to Parking Lotter or Setsuko because he's like the main other person contesting my win. I don't really think anyone else's board can like sort of outcap me. Here I just roll down, try to grab and make whatever I can. I notice I see he goes to 9 instead of rolling it down for Ezreal. So I'm like not too pressured, but at the same time I still need to hold Ezreals. I have 6 Zeds. I have Alawi and Yorick paired. Make 10 here. Then after this, I get 9 gold from my 9 gold units plus like more gold from my cash outs. Here, like I definitely think I did overroll on 6-1, or I overrolled for sure. Like there's no reason for me to go like so deep, especially since I don't have Lucian pair. Like I guess like I only have Yorick pair. Like MF pair is like whatever. The thing is like my Yorick has like no items. I don't even have Lucian pair, so I definitely like did overroll. In my mind, I was considering like I don't need to go 10 this game. Like there's no need for me to go 10 this game to win. But it's like after reevaluating, after like this cash out, I do have a lot of money. I reevaluate like whether I can go 9 or not, or whether I can go 10 or not, and just play for like a much higher cap. Because like from this spot, like my cap would honestly be like relatively low. I'd be stuck on Zed, and I'd just be donkey rolling for a Lucian 209, which oftentimes like you just don't hit because 10% odds. Yeah, I'm just trying to think whether I think it's worth it or not to play Alawi. I decided it's not because Alawi our set is a triple trait, and Alawi 1 like it's nice and all. Like Alawi would be really good in this matchup because of Karthus Akali, but yeah, I decided it's not. This comp or this Karthus Akali comp already really struggles with Zed. My Zed is just a juicer. Like I can roll on 9 and try to kill him. But at the same time, like this is like another way to secure the win. I just play for instead of like trying to kill him fast, I just play for a higher cap myself. He already has 3 Lucians gone. Like it doesn't look like the game will go on until I can get to 10, but it's like it's possible if I have if I lose. Like if I lose, it can make it to stage 7. Like these next 2 rounds, like I potentially take 2 losses. Here I just go for the Alawi. It's Alawi pair. It's adaptive. And like judging based off my board, like I don't really want to roll here because it's like if I beat him, then I beat him. Like I win the game, sure. But it's like if I do happen to lose, I can go 10. Because like my board, like I highly doubt like my board takes like 17 both times. Like, you have to lose like pretty badly to take 17. That's 19. I took 15 that round with like pretty poor positioning. I keep wasting my first 6 ulti on the tentacle. My second one wasted too, because of like my bad 6 positioning. Okay, so in my mind here, I'm about to go 10. Like the things I'm looking for is number 1 is Lucian 2, and then number 2 is a new chosen. Because Zed is good, like really good and all, but it's like as you can see, like in this matchup, he's not doing like that much because he's just getting cleaved down by Ezreals and stuff like all this. Like he just has like a lot of stuff like just randomly flying around like through the middle. Like my Zed is just like just dying too fast. Like not really like pumping. Bruiser's acceptable. A country like is like not really acceptable. Dazzler not really acceptable. Bruiser, like it's between Bruiser Guardian, I have Thresh 2 on my board, plus a Yorick. So in my head, like the best chosen I can hit from my spot with instead of Zed would be a Yorick. So in my head, it's either Bruiser or Guardian. I think I am going with Guardian because like if I'm looking for Yorick here as my chosen, I could hit Guardian Chosen, and I just go for a Guardian. Bruiser is like it would just be 3 Bruiser. Yeah, I'm going with Guardian. I should have preemptively sold my Zed. I sell Zed, I roll. I find Yorick here first try. It's pretty lucky, but odds are like I would have found at some point because it's like I don't think he has any Yoricks, and I'm level 10, so it's not like not that lucky. Like I would find at some point anyways, and I just tried to roll real quickly to try and just like make as best board as I can. Like I do have like the main thing I'm looking for here right now is just a 4th Guardian. I think I don't see this Pantheon. I just roll past it. Yeah, I do. Looking for Pentakill plus a 4th Guardian. I'm doing this. I like didn't have like that much time. I was like a little dizzy here, but it ended up like being okay. My board is definitely like a lot stronger than it was before, and I just put Kiana in last second for like any jazz. Yeah, any sort of jazz I can get. Exact same items on Yorick. Yeah, like unfortunately I didn't hit Lucian too. Yeah. And yeah, with that I win. I had to play for like a super high cap this game in order to win because his board was really strong. I guess like the main takeaway is just like, when you do play Heartsteel and when you do play really contested is you do need to pay attention to your opponents a lot because it's like what they do like lots of times like dictates or like influences like what you should be doing. I think that's about it. Bye bye.